Hi friends, Tara Vossen-Kemper here, founder and clinical director of the Counseling Hub, practicing counselor in the state of Missouri. So I want to take a quick minute and chat with you a little bit about how to choose the right counselor for you. So, quick note, choosing a counselor isn't like just getting online and clicking the first person that you see. I mean, I guess technically it can be, but that's kind of silly, and you might not find someone you actually like and or want to work with. So whenever you're in the process of maybe seeking out counseling, you're like, I'm kind of feeling this. Either you're going through a hard transition, or maybe you just lost someone close to you in terms of breakup or death or move or whatever, or maybe you're at a major crisis in your own life and you just don't know what you want to do with it. Maybe you're really anxious or depressed or suffer from some sort of disorder. I mean, options are endless. Maybe you want to come in for relationship counseling. Doesn't matter. There's plenty of different reasons why people come in. And this is what I like to tell people. And I will tell them this whenever they call in, or maybe they're seeking out a counselor. I'll share this information with them. Hopefully I do anyway, all of them. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. I'll try to share something of the sort. So I'm going to tell them what I do, so what I see my role in terms of in therapy and counseling, what I'm supposed to be doing in the whole process. I tell them to shop around and to chat with a handful of counselors who maybe they read profiles on psychologytoday.com or networktherapy.com or goodtherapy.org or Google, it doesn't matter. Talk to a few different counselors and see if you feel like you click and or fit with any one of those few, and give it a session or two, I would say, potentially even three, before you make a final decision, which seems like a lot of money out of pocket. I understand that. However, we don't really know somebody until we interact with them a handful of times. Unless you're really, really good at judging character and judging the person. Most of us aren't. That's okay. So, here are some questions. So let's say you call a counselor and you want to get to know them, and you might be thinking, cool, Tara, what the hell does that even mean? Like, how do I get to know a counselor? They're supposed to be helping me. Here are some questions for you to ask. You might ask a counselor, number one, what's your approach to therapy? What's your approach to counseling? Leave it open. Leave it an open question is one that's like not a one-word answer. You know, it's not yes, no, black, white, cut, dry. It's open to whatever they see their approach is. It's open for however they want to describe it, you know, which they can get pretty detailed or they can be a little more cut and dry, you know, depending on the person, which is going to tell you a little bit about who they are. That's the whole point of this kind of question. So you might say, okay, Sally, what's your approach to counseling? You might ask, how do you see change occurring? How do you see change happening? That's another kind of vague question, intentionally vague. So hopefully the counselor describes to you what they see as the change process. So if someone were to ask me that question, I might say, change is inevitable. I see myself as a person who helps to reflect back what I'm seeing going on and give you kind of a bird's eye view of what I see happening. So usually, for example, with a breakup, there's a grief process that happens. If a person calls me in the middle of that grief process and they don't see the process as it's happening, I'm going to let them know this is normal. It's not fun, it's not easy, but it's a normal process. Grief is heavy, it's hard, it's intense, you feel crazy, you feel all these things. That's normal. So the way that I see change might be different than somebody else. I see it as like, we just need to create space for that change to occur. Some people might take a really direct and active role. Like, you need to do X to feel better, you need to do Y to feel better, you need to do Z to feel better, and then do all these other things. It might be really direct and really active. So you're going to get a lot of, well, depending on what kind of people you seek out, you're going to get a variety of opinions on how change happens. So, what's your approach? How do you see change happening? You might also ask whether or not somebody is direct or not in session. So you might say, what's your like therapeutic style? People might say I'm really active in session. Other people might say I sit back a lot and I let you do a lot of the talking. And the reason you're asking these questions is because you're trying to gauge whether or not the counselor is a good fit for you. Not every counselor is for every person, and not every person is for every counselor. And hopefully you have, by the second or third session in, if you're not feeling it, you might even say to your counselor, look, brah, I really like you. You seem really cool. You seem really nice. I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of these sessions. And hopefully your counselor says, well, let's go there. Like, what do you need from me? What am I not doing enough of? Or they might say, you know what? I've been thinking the same thing. I don't think this is a good fit. Cool. And then you move on quickly to somebody else. This should not happen 15 sessions in. This should happen 2, maybe 3 sessions in. And hopefully at the end of your first session, your counselor says, hey, how is this going for you so far? Was this experience what you expected? What more are you needing potentially? I know this is the first time, but I want to spend some time processing how this whole thing has gone for you. So, and if your counselor doesn't do that, look, you as a client, like you get to do that kind of thing. You basically run the show. I mean, you're coming in for help and guidance, which is cool, which is awesome, right? Because that's what we're here for. And it's your space. That means you get to dictate how the sessions go. Last thing, and this is such a pet peeve of mine and such a personal bias, I hope your counselor does not give you direct answers. I will not tell somebody how they should or shouldn't live their life. I'm here to help, again, hold that mirror up and explain in certain ways what I'm seeing going on, how I'm seeing things unfolding. I'm trying to create space for even unpleasant and pleasant emotions and for that process of change to occur organically. And I will not tell a person whether or not they need to move, change jobs, break up with someone, get married, that's not my role. It's your life to live, and I don't want to take responsibility for that, and I don't, for a few reasons, but maybe that's another video. It's not my life. It's your life. So it's a huge pet peeve. If I ever hear clients say, well, my last counselor would tell me what to do, I just think that's not okay. I don't like that. So if you have a counselor who's telling you directly what decision you should make, you should run. So maybe not run, but maybe say, don't give me an answer. Let me figure it out on my own, but just help me find some light, shed some light on this picture. Whew, longer video than I expected. So I think that's it. So again, what's your approach? How do you see the change process occurring? What's your therapeutic style? Are you direct or a little more indirect? And of course you want to know things like fees and length of sessions and, how long should I be coming in for, etc. Do you do weekly sessions, bi-weekly, multiple times a week? And you might directly ask, are you going to tell me what to do? And if your counselor says, why, yes, I will, you might say, thank you, click. So have a fantastic day and week and month and whatever time this is you're watching. I hope you have a great remainder of your day. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye.